Hey everybody, Jonathan Bailor back with another bonus calorie myth and smarter science of slim show. Very excited about today's show because it's a little bit of a challenge today because I have been challenged, folks, implicitly, not explicitly, by someone who has even more energy, dare I say, than I. This is an individual who people are like, Jonathan, you're smiley and you're energetic. Well, when you get to know, if you don't already know, because she is all over the internet, today's guest, you will be like, yep, Jonathan, you're in that second place position when it comes to smiliness. So our guest today is the delightful creator of Pop Pilates, an internet YouTube sensation. She's got like 500 trillion views online for a good reason because she's awesome and motivational. Cassey Ho, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much, Jonathan. It's a pleasure to meet you and see you.
Absolutely. Well, I've seen you all over the web, and it's cool to actually be interacting with you live here now. So, Cassey, we all have seen you online doing your fitness stuff, doing your motivational stuff, but I want to take a step back because I was intrigued by your bio on your website in terms of your history in medical practice and what made you transition. And let's start from little Cassey, work our way up to today.
Okay, well, we got to start when I was 16, and I really wanted to be a fashion designer. And I'm very artistic, I'm very right and left brained, and I told my dad, like, I really want to be a fashion designer. But see, in the Asian American culture, just the Asian culture, you've only got three things that you can be when you grow up, or you're like illegitimate and you have dishonored the family name. So that is doctor, lawyer, or accountant. And so my dad literally told to my face, he said, you'll not be successful, you will not succeed, and you'll have no friends and no money. So I cried and I hung my head low and I said, okay, I will go into biology. And so I went to Whittier College on a full ride, and I got a degree in biology, but my heart just really wasn't into it. And so actually my junior year, when I was supposed to look for a medical internship, I went out and got a fashion internship instead, and my dad went berserk. And then the following semester, I came back in and I signed up for organic chemistry, only to drop out of it a few times actually, because I wanted to sabotage all of my chances of even taking the MCAT. Because there's this, I don't know, it's crazy. My parents were crazy, and I was just not having it. My heart wasn't there. And then so I eventually flew out to the East Coast and tried to pursue fashion buying. Interestingly, though enough, I had started a yoga bag company as a college student, and 8 months into my new job, maybe less than that, one of my yoga bags got featured in Shape magazine, and I was like, oh my God. I remember going to Target, like flipping through the pages frantically because I got a text from a friend of a blurry picture, and I remember melting down onto the floor and just crying because I was like, oh my God, my dream come true. And then so the next couple weeks I quit my job, and I remember buying a ticket to China on Friday and leaving on Sunday, and then say, you know what, if I'm gonna go, I'm gonna go big. There's like, I've got to give myself 100% chance to succeed, or else I'm never gonna know, right? And so during that whole process, while we were developing back and forth, I started to YouTube a little bit more, and I started to blog a little bit more. And I've been doing Pilates forever. I've been teaching for about 8 years, doing it for 11 years. And so at that time I was doing more Pilates and everything, still teaching, and things just started to grow. And it's interesting though now, because now my parents do talk to me again. They're very happy for the success, and they're actually working alongside with me. And not only has it brought our family closer together, but now I'm also developing a clothing line, so I'm back where I wanted to be, which was designing clothes. And I think that was a really long answer to your question, but that's kind of how medicine was involved. But I'm glad that I have that biology background a little bit, so it makes me understand nutrition a little bit better.
As Cassey, it's a very fascinating story. I'd like to dig deep into one aspect of that, if you don't mind. And that was in this transition period, because it's wonderful to see you online. Obviously, you've had this success, and it's very easy for folks to just be like, they only see the success. They don't see all the hard work that went into that. And I want to focus specifically, we talk about hard work, just like putting in that work. But there's another level of hard work in terms of, it sounds like there was an emotional path here. Where and how did you cope with that time period? I don't know how long it was, where you were basically you had lost your anchor. You were brought up for however many years as this is correct, this is reality, and you challenged that. How did you get through that?
It was honestly really hard because I'm actually a very obedient child, and so I've always done what my parents told me to do. And at the end of the day, you just have to know that you know yourself better than anyone else does, and you know what your potential is. And I was just like, you know what? I'm not going to have this. I'm not living for my parents. I'm not living for anyone else, and I'm living for myself. And we were fighting and yelling, and I was crying a lot for probably like a good few years. And my parents were like, what are you doing with your life? Like, you need to go back to school and all this kind of stuff. And I just held strong. I was like, I know this is going to work out. And I don't know how, but sometimes you just got to believe in yourself and go, even if you've got no support. And things just started to work out. But honestly, it was a very emotional journey. It hurts. And I'm actually kind of, I don't know if you can see, but every time I talk about it, I get a little hot and then my eyes start tearing up. But yeah, and I just hope that other people can follow their passions as well, because it is one of the most gratifying things to be able to live what you're meant to do, you know?
Absolutely. Well, it's incredibly inspiring, and I love when you say, my eyes start watering, I start getting warm, because it really seems like it's that level of passion and commitment that gets you through those tough times. And what I also admire about your story is that, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a lot of individuals who may go into this creative, passion-driven arena, and there's certainly sometimes some dark places when you go off the beaten path, but a lot of people will deal with that via unhealthy outlets, whereas it seems like you deal with it with very healthy outlets.
Yeah, I mean, there were times when I would just lay in bed and not want to get out, because I was like, well, I mean, this is pretty dark, but I was just like, if I can't live for me or live for my parents, like, what is the point of living? I mean, I didn't do anything crazy, but it got to a point where it was just really hard to deal with myself. And Pilates has always been my rock. No matter if I'm having a bad day or whatever, I go and I teach my class. I see these people who want to see me. I want to help them get healthier. We have this common goal of just having a fitter body, a healthier life, and then you emerge from the 1 hour class just feeling better. So throughout all the years until now, for the past 11 years, I've been doing Pilates, and I love it. It's something that it makes me happy. I find the joy in it. So it's more than just a workout. It's just like a feel good type of thing. And I think you know what I mean.
Absolutely. Well, Cassey, so often, I'm sure you've seen this, obviously you've been practicing for many years, you've interacted and influenced millions of people. So often, poor health is the result of emotional distress. So what do you think it was about you that for these 2 years or so that you were in severe emotional distress, you pursued a healthy path where sometimes individuals, and can other people learn to do what you did?
Yeah, well, I think for me, it's always about progressing to the next level, doing something that makes me happy, and I guess internally doing something unhealthy doesn't make me happy. And so it's always something where I can see myself do better, whether it's for myself or helping somebody else. I think people should really try to do less of what they don't like and more of what they like, and you kind of even it out and just try to figure out what your path is. And I'm very sensitive to my feelings. So I think that really helped me move forward. But it's also really important to surround yourself around maybe friends that also believe in you, because I had a couple of friends in college who were like, Cassey, you really should do what you want, and blah, blah, blah. And luckily I was in the dorms and I wasn't at home with my parents. Probably would have been a lot worse of them just imposing things on me. So you got to really put a nice support system around you. It's really important to have positive energy. And so I have my friends in college to thank too for just telling me to just stop listening to your parents.
Well, Cassey, let's transition here to the light at the end of the tunnel here, where obviously you made this journey, you crossed that chasm, and you've experienced some delightful success. But what I want to dig into here, Cassey, is this obviously fitness, YouTube, these are crowded places. These are crowded places, and you have worked your way through that and emerged as one of the top influencers. In fact, I believe what was it? Which website was it that ranked you as second to only Jillian Michaels in terms of your online influence, which is incredible. So
yeah, your care. Yeah,
that's awesome. So what do you think was it about your approach that helped you emerge?
So I think it's really important to realize that when you start, you got to have more of a goal, more of a deep goal than just being famous or making money. Because when I started, I literally was putting up my video for students at the gym who didn't have time to work out with me on the days when I wasn't teaching. And so it was for them. And it just so happened that people across the internet started watching it. Some people say like, oh, maybe you got in early, but at the same time, if I did get in early, it still broke through to somebody when nobody was watching YouTube too. Now there's a lot more content, and I can tell when somebody's really doing it for an alternate reason versus just helping people. And so for me, when I put up a video, it's all about the fans. If they want a butt video, I give them a butt video. If they want a dance video, I choreograph a dance routine for them. It's always about serving and giving back, and it's gotten back to me too. And that's my philosophy in life, in teaching, in everything. You just gotta give, 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 and the more you give, the more you receive. So
that you just gave me chills, because my father is an ethics professor, and he's a big fan of, and I don't know if you've actually ever read any work by Viktor Frankl. He wrote a book called Man's Search for Meaning, and it's just this message you're giving echoes his psychology and philosophy of anxiety and neuroses often come from too much focus on the self. And once you focus on outside of the self, specifically helping others and helping others find meaning, I can imagine that played a big role in you transitioning out of this dark place and then emerging into such a brilliant light.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And it's yeah, you're right. Just focusing on other people and what they want, and just somehow the universe makes it go back to you. It really does.
Well, and I think, like you said, you can tell a big difference between an individual who is doing it for fame or for their own edification or ego, or someone who is just like, my goal is to help people. And it's interesting too. It's even like we see this more also in the technology arena, where Mark Zuckerberg says, add value first.
Yep.
And the money comes later. And it's a totally new model. It's a very new model.
Exactly. I mean, even when I was trying to figure out my career path, my goal was really to just enjoy what I do, really enjoy what I do, and the money will come later. And then even like with working out, if you focus so hard on trying to lose weight and counting all the calories, it's going to be so stressful that nothing is going to work out. Like, focus on enjoying your workout, focus on loving your food, and your body will just sculpt its way through the love and care that you give it. So it's kind of like the same thing.
Yeah, there's I think it was Thoreau, maybe. He gives this really cool analogy where he's like, when people either pursue calories or weight loss or money or happiness directly, it's like trying to catch a butterfly. Like, you're grabbing, but if you just sit there calmly and you're at peace, the butterfly will land calmly on your shoulder.
Yeah, I love that. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly. Yeah.
Well, so what's next for you? I mean, you've been on this trajectory, and what do you find now motivates you as much as motivated you to get to where you are today?
Honestly, what keeps me up till like 3 in the morning, and I still work till like 3 in the morning because I'm so addicted to what I do. It's always the chance to create better and better content. And I've been so lucky because like just last week, Dr. Oz invited me to be on his show and show him how to do Pilates. The week before, Steve Harvey called. And so there's this whole new like TV thing, which I never even thought of before. Now it's like fitness entertainment. Before it was just like, oh, fitness, we're teaching, yay. But every time a new movie comes out, I love doing like a fitness related routine to it. So when Hunger Games came out, I did like this Hunger Game workout, and we did like Mockingjay abs and all kinds of stuff. It was so fun to produce. And I think everything that I do moving forward is how to make fitness more fun and more creative than the way we've seen it very traditionally. And I think the younger generation has really responded to that, because fitness, yes, is serious, but we can't take it that seriously. We got to have fun with it, like everything else we do in life. So that's something that you want to do. And so I have a book coming out next year. It's going to be called Hot Body Year Round. I'm doing it with Random House, and it's basically how to stay fit and healthy throughout the seasons, how to eat in-season food so that's cheaper, it's organic, it's local. It's very beautiful, it's colorful. We shot all around the United States to really capture the season. So like for fall, we went to Boston and did the foliage and everything. So it's really fun. And then, I have my second and third DVD coming out, and it's, I don't know, it's just whatever the fans want, we kind of just do it. And this activewear line I've been working on for so long, hopefully will come out this season, that I've been telling you about, like my whole fashion design things. So I just can't wait. There's a lot of stuff going on, and I need to just keep going. I'm having so much fun. I really am having so much fun, but I seriously need to sleep, because now I'm talking really fast. When I get really excited, I talk really fast. And I also walk really fast. If you ever walk with me and we talk about something and it's exciting, we're just like, I'm going crazy now. It's Monday morning. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore.
I'm
still excited for life.
No, I love it. What I love that you celebrate fun, because so often, what I love most personally about your approach and your message is this undertone of fun, because so often health and fitness, I mean, it's actually been studied. If you tell someone this is healthy, their emotional reaction is, oh, ugh. Like,
Ugh.
and that's so contradictory, right? Health is that which is to be celebrated, and delightful sickness is what we should react to with mourning. But how do you think we can help people see fitness and health with more levity, and just not, it's not this stand on the scale in front of people and be criticized and
Oh,
feel
yeah.
bad? I mean, how can we make that transition?
Well, I think it starts with first finding that fire within yourself for understanding why you want to change your life. Is it that you want to live longer, or is it just that you want six pack abs or whatever? Find something, and then go with it. Support yourself with a very healthy environment, with healthy foods, with people that have common goals, and also I think it would be helpful if entertainment and media, which is I think the most influential sources of information, if they could start feeding us kind of the right information, and then it'll make it easier and a lot more fun for people. And I think it's just kind of a self journey that you got to go and find something that works for you. Like for me, I did HIIT workouts for a while, and they are really hard. They're really hard. They're very effective, but I also love cardio dance workouts because I love dancing and it's fun for me, and it works for me. And I think we just gotta find what works for us, and that keeps us coming back. So I think it's like a self journey that you've got to find on your own too.
I can certainly celebrate this, finding what works for you. And I'm sure you get questions like the following often, which is like, should I do this or this? Or what do you think about that? How do you help people to turn inward and say, well, try them both, and the one that makes you feel better, do that one?
Exactly. And I think sometimes it takes somebody who's an expert or personal trainer just to tell you to do it, and then they'll try it. A lot of people are scared. And I understand you don't know if this is good for you or this is bad for you, but at the same time, it's just what works for your body. And our bodies are so different. Like my body may react differently to bodybuilding than somebody else does, and to different foods. And so I think people just got to try it, and just don't be scared to try. And if you can do it with friends, even better, I think.
And have fun. Don't spend so much time debating on internet chat rooms.
Yeah.
Spend more time just having a good time, it sounds like.
Yeah. And if you fail, whatever, it's part of life, and you get stronger. It's all about resilience.
I love it. Well, Cassey, where can folks go to learn more about you and experience more of this radiant positivity?
Well, I guess you can find me on YouTube. So youtube.com/Blogilates. I also have, and so I have over 220 videos on everything from 10-minute butt workout, 10-minute butt workout to like a 5-minute abs express. There's everything on there, cardio too. But I also have a wealth of resources on blogilates.com, which is my blog, and I update that weekly, sometimes daily, with new information and all sorts of workout playlists and a whole calendar that people can follow for free, that tells exactly what videos to do every day in a very planned out manner. And I change the workout every 4 weeks so they can keep from plateauing. And it's all free because I think that everyone should have access to being healthy and being fit.
I love that. Well, for any individual who struggles to spell Blogilates, if they search for Cassey Ho, and that's H-O, I'm sure they'll find all the information as well.
That is correct, Jonathan.
I love it, Cassey. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, and for being such a wonderful example of putting fun and meaning and helping others at the center of one's life and one's public life, which is really, really cool. So I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, thank you, and thank you for writing an amazing book. I can't wait to finish it. You have a wealth of information in there, and I really applaud you for doing all of that research. It really backs everything up that you say, and I love it. So coming from a science background, I really appreciate that.
Well, thank you, Cassey. And listeners, if you enjoyed this conversation, please do check out Cassey online. Obviously, there's just a massive wealth of resources she's provided. It's Cassey Ho, and that's H-O, and Blogilates, which I don't know how to spell, but I'm sure Google will help you spell it if you give it a try. So again, remember, folks, this week and every week after, eat smarter, exercise smarter, and live better. We'll chat with you soon.
Bye.